Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's wake up. We're going to have some real fun because we are going to look at some interesting examples of what's coming next. My name is Ralph Simon, and I've come here all the way from, all over the world because I spend my time on a relentless search for what's coming next. What's coming next in, things that change people's lives, that change countries, that change technology, that change the way you think. We've seen some speakers here today that have really brought some interesting changes, but I thought what I'll do in the short time that I have available to you is, there we are, what's coming next, is just to find out, are we working with this? Is the clicker working? There we are. So some cool ideas from digital brainiacs. How many of you here in the audience is a brainiac? Oh, please. Oh, please. Not one brainiac? What do you think about all day? Do you just think about drinking beer and going to seeing the DJs and the underground dance scene here in Berlin? Maybe. Okay. Well, anyway, let's. What I thought I'd do is take you around the world in a short time to show you some really interesting things that are coming up. And the first one we'll start off with is something from Berlin itself. How many of you here in Berlin know what this is? Well, let me tell you what it is. Just a couple of months ago, Coca-Cola has a drink called Powerade, and they unveiled something called the workout billboards in Berlin. Workout billboards. Anyone see this? Just one guy. Oh, yeah, he's got good muscles. He obviously worked it out. So basically, it's located in the center of Berlin. And the beverages brands, they've got 3 billboards that features a variety of activities. And these activities showcase strength and sporting prowess. And the aim of the billboards was to prove to passers-by that you have more power than you think. Now, don't you think that's interesting? You're walking along the street, you see a billboard like this, you say, I've got more power than I think, let me try it out. And here's a website you can go to. If you've tried it out, you can get a free drink. Okay, so let's go to the next one. We'll go to a completely different place. Let's go to Peru. What's happening there? There we are. So this is Peru. This is a beach called Playa Agua Dulce in Peru. And the Peruvian League Against Cancer set this up. An interesting idea done by some technologists in Peru. And what they did was they set up this large blue structure on the beach that allowed beachgoers to get free Wi-Fi, but only if they stayed in the shadow of this blue structure. Now think about it. A lot of news about cancer from the sun and all that kind of stuff, but only if they stayed in the shadow. And before being able to access the Wi-Fi, the users have to go to a landing page where they could read information about skin cancer. So you think about it. People tell you about, don't stay in the sun, you'll get cancer. Don't do this, don't do that. But here's something on the beach that immediately you go right into the shade of the blue structure, you get Wi-Fi, you can find out where you meet someone on Tinder on the beach in the sun, and then go back into the shade, and maybe you can make love on the beach and still get Wi-Fi. You never know. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, good. So, see, some of you are awake. That's good. Very good. That's great. So, the next one is an interesting idea. Let's go to this one. This here was launched in Paris just a couple of months ago. It's called BELTY, B-E-L-T-Y. Yes, you can just see the name on the bottom left there. And BELTY is a smart belt tracking granular changes to your waistline and resizing itself accordingly. So there's special sensors in the belt, and the sensors monitor tension throughout the belt, and the mini motors slim or expand if the wearer is sitting down or if the wearer has had a big meal. Now, isn't that cool? You have a big meal, you go for some Wurst, and you go from bad to Wurst. Not bad. And then the belt expands, and the belt also includes a built-in pedometer and uses Bluetooth to sync with a mobile app to record activity summaries and waistline trends. So ladies and gentlemen, how about having a belt when you have a meal? It shows you if you've eaten too much or if you haven't eaten too much and over a few days your belt gets thinner, it basically helps you keep your waistline in good order. What do you think of that as an invention? Only the French can invent something like that. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here we go. So this is an interesting one. This is a US created stick and shoot camera called Podo. Podo reached its crowdfunding goal just a couple of months ago. This is a Bluetooth-enabled device, $99. It's a camera that can stick to almost any surface, and with its washable micro-suction features and magnet. And according to Podo's developers, it's designed to replace the selfie stick. So you can stick it on anywhere. Stick it on your mother-in-law, you could stick it on a wall, you could stick it on anything you like, and it'll be really good, like a selfie stick, except it's a stick, sticks on anything. It's an 8-megapixel camera. It shoots 720 MP video and has a battery life of around 2 hours. Very small, really interesting. People want small things to carry around, women in their handbags, men in their man bags, and so this is the kind of thing that'll be really good to take around. Not a bad idea. Do you think it's worth $99 and would you buy one? No. Okay, bad idea. Next. Very good. I like decisive people. Okay, here's a good one. What's this? Okay, this was something that was launched in the UK just a few months ago. It's called the Loose X2 Touch TV, and this is the world's first vending machine using facial recognition technology. A vending machine that uses facial recognition technology. Okay, the device can automatically identify and greet a customer with motion sensors detecting when someone approaches it before playing a personalized video message. So can you imagine going to a Coke machine and it says, hello, Horst, how would you like a drink? I mean, it's cool, a vending machine that recognizes you. Anyway, the vending machine then shows a customer a menu of products based upon their demographic, as well as items that they've ordered in the past. And the touchscreen interface also serves to display nutritional information for available products. So that beautiful lady that spoke just before me was telling you the value of food. Can you imagine if some of the food and the peptides that she was working on could be introduced into a vending machine that recognized you and recognized your peptides? Now that is something interesting, but a vending machine that can really recognize stuff like this, you've got to admit that's cool. Coca-Cola in Atlanta, the headquarters, have been working on some of these things with video machines that play music, get you Spotify, but also now recognizing who you are. So let's say, for example, you're trying to lose weight, the machine knows you're trying to lose weight, you want to get something that's perhaps got a little bit too much sugar, and the machine says, you can't buy it today, you've got to be on diet. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here's a really interesting one for people that like beer, and I think in Germany that's one of the most popular drinks. People like beer, men, women, and everybody else likes beer. So here's an interesting thing from Carlsberg. Just a couple of months ago, Carlsberg installed this billboard in London, complete with a working beer tap. Now, how many of you have ever seen a working billboard? You go up to the billboard and you can basically get a beer for free. And basically, they had a campaign for Carlsberg which says, Carlsberg, probably the best beer in the world. And reviving the beer's tradition, the billboard featured the words, probably the best poster in the world. And basically, each passerby was offered a free beer by the poster. Intriguing idea, and happy to say there's a plainclothes security man standing next to it just in case you have too many beers and you start getting a little crazy. So there's a security guy making sure that things are okay. But never before, perhaps only in England, people love beer in England, here is a billboard where you can actually have beer from the billboard. So my question to you is this: how many of you here would like to have a billboard in Berlin, in one of the key areas of Berlin, where you can go up to and go, you can pull some beer? What a brilliant audience you are. What a fantastic decision maker you are. Very good. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here's an interesting one. Now, this is from Mexico. So just a couple of months ago in Mexico, the Mexican government installed 30 motion-sensitive machines at subway stations all across Mexico City. The machines issue a token that can be redeemed for a subway ticket, and it usually costs only about 5 pesos. So 5 pesos is probably about 5 euro cents to any commuter who completes 10 squats. So if you squat like that, you get a free ride on the subway, and pedometers were also offered to the first 80,000 participants. So the first 80,000 would also get a free pedometer, a good idea. And the scheme was introduced in response to escalating obesity, fatness amongst Mexicans in the country. And according to a 2013 United Nations report, a staggering 32.8% of the Mexican population are fat, overweight, and obese. So this is not a bad idea. In fact, if you go to Moscow on the Russian subway, they've got something similar. If you do some exercises in front of the machine, obviously people look at you, they think you are completely mad or stupid, but not so stupid, because if you do the exercises, you get a free token, you can ride the subway for free. So, I need your vote. Good idea? Bad idea? What do you think? Yes? No? Very good. We should now go to the mayor of Berlin and say, could you please make sure we do some squats so that we can all travel on the subway for free, because everybody in this room will do it. Very good. I like that. Okay, let's go to the next one. And this is what, hold on. There we are. Here we are. So here's something from China. Something from China. And what is this? This was unveiled in April. This is the Phantom 3. It's a drone that integrates you with YouTube live. It's a live drone that goes to YouTube. Streaming footage in near real time. It's created by a Chinese drone company called SZDJI Technology Company. I'm sure everyone's heard of that company. 2 models of the device are available, one professional and one advanced. It's only $999, not bad. The Phantom 3 can record 4K video at up to 30 frames per second, while an accompanying app allows users to automatically edit the shots into short videos for instant sharing. So let's imagine you're a guy and you know that your girlfriend is cheating on you. You want to get a drone to go and see what she's doing. You go above the bedroom. No, you can't do that. But you see her somewhere in the Tiergarten, and you get your drone to take some pictures. You put them onto YouTube. You do an analysis. You do an edit. You send her an email saying, I hope you're having a good time because I'm feeling like shit. What do you think of that? From China, do you think that would work in Berlin? Yes? No? Only a few. I see that crazy pervert over there at the back. He would definitely want to use it. Okay. Let's go to the next one. The next one, here's an interesting one. This was launched just a couple of months ago in the USA. This is called Stefan's Head. And Stefan's Head is an e-tailer and fashion brand operating, but only by SMS. Only by SMS. So just think, no shops, no online, just SMS. In order to be eligible to purchase limited edition clothing, apparel from the brand, customers need to send an SMS to a cell phone number and then receive a reply asking for details of their social media accounts in order to be vetted by the company. Those who are deemed worthy receive an SMS with links to purchase limited edition products every few weeks, with the site automatically saving your size and your credit card information. And in that way, it's just a very easy process, just done by SMS. So just think about it. How many of you here actually hate shopping? Okay, about 15%. Those of you that hate shopping, wouldn't it be great if you could just go on your phone, SMS, order the clothes get sent to you, you never have to go into a shop. You can spend your entire time standing in front of the mirror at your house looking at yourself without ever going into a shop. So that's an interesting product, Stefan's Head from the United States. Okay, let's go to something else in a public space that's quite interesting. And here is something that is called the Q Mall. The Q Mall, this was opened in Osaka in Japan during April this year. And the Q Mall is on top of a big shopping center. But check this out. This mall features a 300-meter running track. It's on the roof of the shopping mall. The track has got 3 different lanes and it's free to use. And what's more, it also features 2 soccer fields which can be used freely by members of the public. So if you look at a city like Berlin and East Berlin, where you're seeing some big shopping centers going up, do you think it would be a good or a bad idea to have something like that, a running track, soccer fields, a sporting, on top of a shopping mall? So you go shopping, or let's say you go for a big meal, and your belt tells you that you've eaten too much. You just go to the top of the shopping mall and run 5 kilometers, and you'll feel great. You'll feel cool. So if you think this is an interesting idea, and you know anybody, no, you're shaking your head, it's not a good idea, why not? Well, maybe if you go to the shopping mall and buy some sneakers and some running shorts, you can try them out. So anyway, it's an idea. These are all new ideas from brainiacs just like yourselves, looking at an interesting way to make new products, so that you can become not just a millionaire, but you can become a thrillionaire. Do you know what a thrillionaire is? A thrillionaire is someone that likes getting good thrills. So can you imagine running on the track, completing 1 kilometer, you do the 1 kilometer, oh, you get such a thrill. You're a thrillionaire. That's why this is important. Okay, here's an interesting one. Let's have a look. Where's this one from? Ah, yes, this just a couple of months ago in America. The company is called Feetz, F-E-E-T-Z, Feetz. And what is Feetz? They raised $1.2 million in seed funding to begin production of custom-made 3D printed shoes. Customers use the Feetz mobile app to take 3 photographs of their feet and design the patterns they'd like for their shoes. Feetz takes the measurements from these images and they create a pair of perfectly fitted shoes made from antimicrobial jelly material, which are then shipped directly to the customer's door. And the shoes cost around $200 a pair. How many of you have bought shoes and you get home and you take them out the box and they just don't feel right? Has that ever happened to anybody? Huh? For Zalando? Don't say that about Zalando. They're supporting this whole event. They're great. See the orange T-shirt. No, but seriously, the thing is this. That's a pretty good idea to get special microbial jelly shoes that feel incredibly comfortable. You get them in the mail, you put them on. Just imagine go dancing. You can go to some of these great clubs here in Berlin. You can go dancing in these shoes. Not a bad idea. What is the price? We said $200. So good idea, bad idea. What do you think? Good idea. Okay, so that's a good idea. Okay. Didn't say much. Okay, here's a really interesting one talking about wearables. And here we are. So Levi Strauss, how many of you have got some Levi jeans? How many of you here have got Levi jeans? Huh? 15%. That's not so good. Anyway, so this is called Project Jacquard. It's a partnership between Levi Strauss and Google, both companies from Northern California, the Bay Area, that focuses on creating apparel, clothing from fabrics with touch screen capabilities. So announced in June, the project's aim is to allow wearers... My God, that was someone that was running on the track on top of the supermarket. This project is to allow wearers to control their cell phone via gestures made into the woven fabric of the apparel. By swipes or taps that are mapped to cell phone functionality, it allows the wearers to carry out actions such as silencing calls, controlling music, as well as altering cell phone settings and apps. So you can do it by sign language against your clothes, because your clothes can read your gestures and your signs. And with the announcement, both companies committed to manufacturing and integrating Project Jacquard technology during 2016. Well, the thing is this. Wearable technologies and wearable personal telemetry is a big new area, because what you're going to have in your clothing. For example, pregnant women can now get special dresses made that have wearable technology inside them that monitor the condition of the baby, the amniotic sac, the fluid, the baby. It can tell you whether the baby's dancing inside you, all this kind of thing. Very interesting. But this is all part of the wearable technology revolution. How many of you here have a Fitbit? 2 people. How many of you have some kind of measurable technology that measures your body functions? My God, what do you do here in Berlin? You're not worried about your health. People all over the world now are having all of this wearable technology to make sure they don't die while they are thinking about it. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Here's an interesting one that's creating a real revolution around the world, sort of, but from an unusual place. Where is it? Let's get this one. Yes, this is called My Idol. Anyone heard of My Idol? Yes, we've got some hip people there at the back, and this lady here, she's definitely not Pop Idol, or not American Idol, but this is My Idol. And a Chinese mobile app, My Idol, has gone viral worldwide. This free mobile app allows users to upload a photo of their face and create a customized avatar, and the users can then tweak clothing outfits, hairstyles, makeup before inserting their avatar into a variety of virtual scenarios, such as singing or dancing. I don't know how many of you have tried this. Actually, it's very cool, where you try your little avatar doing a little bit of dancing. It's really quite cool. And people can choose to share their personalized video clips of their avatar via social media. So if anyone's interested in this, you just look up My Idol. It's a Chinese avatar app. It's actually quite interesting because you can do something of yourself looking really cool, and then you send a video of yourself as a little avatar. People will think that you've been to Hollywood. They think that you're suddenly in the DreamWorks movies. It's amazing. It's incredible. So just an interesting idea coming out of China, but going viral from China. Interesting idea. Okay.
I just have a quick announcement real quick, but you can carry on.
Oh, thank God for that.
We've got the hardware pitch happening at 4:45, so whoever wants to leave for that is very welcome to. But if you want to stay, Ralph Simon, it's yours.
Thank you very much. Okay, you got that message? Okay, so let's go to the next one, just the last couple. And here's an interesting one. This is a bank. Believe it or not, what you're seeing is a picture of a bank. It's called the Idea Bank, and it was opened in Warsaw, in Warsaw, just a couple of months ago in February. And Idea Bank have got a city center branch that is styled as a cafe, and it is operated not by bank officials, but by baristas who are bank officials. So it's not bank officials, it's baristas who are bank officials. Not a bad idea. And the retail bank's coffee shop and workspace was specially opened to attract small business owners away from Starbucks, the local cafes, offering free beverages, offices, and bookable meeting rooms. And the space also gives entrepreneurs and small companies access to Wi-Fi, printers, and photocopiers. So let's be real about this. How many of you recently, or in the last 12 months, have actually gone inside a bank? Not many, it's just about 10%. So most people go to an ATM machine, sure, but who's really interested in going to a bank other than you don't even speak to your bank manager to get a loan or to get a mortgage or something like that. So banks really are suffering from the problem that their interface directly with customers is not what it used to be in our parents' time. So here's a situation in Poland, and Poland's very hip in terms of being an interesting innovation development center, particularly Warsaw and a little bit in Krakow. But here they are, a bank opening what really is like a cool coffee shop, a coffee place, where you go in and you can have a meeting, you can run your business from it, get some coffee, and go to the barista and say, could you please lend me €1 million? That's not a bad idea. I mean, a barista says, darling, no problem. You want to come back and have another cup of coffee at that Idea Bank. So it's an idea in the financial technology service, but something interesting to think about. If ever you go to Warsaw and you want a good cup of coffee and €1 million, Idea Bank is the place to go. Okay, so, and finally, I thought I'd show you something interesting here. Let's have a look at this. Yes, this is from Argentina. So we travel all over the world looking for really cool stuff. And this, I think, is really something interesting. Obviously, people living in Germany are very, very centered on the environment, being green. Our company is doing a very big event on the 19th of September in Paris with Al Gore, where we are going to have a big, big concert at the foot of the Eiffel Tower to try and get people, not just in France, but all over Europe, to vote for climate action when we have the Climate Action Summit in Paris at the end of the year, because the planet is heading for trouble unless we do something about the climate. And here in Argentina, the other side of the world, they've come up with a cool idea. So a couple of months ago, a children's book publisher in Argentina called Pequeño Editor created the Tree Book Tree, a book that can be planted, a book that can be planted after it has been read. And how does it work? Copies of Mi Papa Estuvo en la Selva, My Father Was in the Jungle, that's the name of the book, were printed in biodegradable ink on acid-free paper with embedded jacaranda seeds in the paper and were sent to local schools, government officials, and key bookstores. The children were encouraged to plant the book after reading it to discover that trees and children can grow together. So you've got to admit, this is a really interesting idea. You get a book for a kid that teaches them about growing trees. You say to the kid, once you've read the book, plant the book, water the book, cover it with soil, and in a few months' time, out of the space where they planted the book comes a jacaranda tree. And the jacaranda tree's got beautiful purple flowers, incredible beautiful flowers. I'm sure you know from Mumbai, lots of jacaranda trees in Mumbai. Anyway, the point is this. How many of you have ever heard of a book that you can plant and water so that a tree grows out of the book? So you cut down a tree to make the paper, then you put the paper back in and you grow a tree. It's the ultimate in environmental transformation. Good idea or bad idea? What do you think? Great idea. Okay, so what book, very good. So what book do you think we should make here in Berlin that we should then plant so that we can grow them in the Tiergarten? And I was thinking we can have a book, Muti's Famous Recipes. That's one book. Muti, everyone knows Muti, Angela Merkel, no? Das Kapital, that's a good one. What other books? Anyone can suggest an interesting book? 36 Hours in the Famous DJ Clubs of Berlin and How I Survived with Only 3 Pills of Ecstasy. That could be a good book. But anyway, not a bad idea from Argentina. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I say to you is this. Come on, come on. What is your great new idea? Those are ideas from all over the world. Unusual, interesting. Some are going to work, some are not going to work. But when you think about it, if you've got an idea, and everybody here has, and the beauty today, and especially in Berlin, Berlin is one of the great incubation cities in the world. So, the question is, can you or all of us make it real? Thank you, TOA. Thank you, Nico.